Hey guys, alright, we're jumping in just in the nick of time here. Try from ESEA to the rescue once more. Huge shout out to Try who got me the IP in time. Art gonna get the opening frag in the round here. Map number 3. It is of course Inferno, tied 1-1 iNTACT up against Furia. And Furia with the quick 5v4. Furia is 3-0 on Inferno so far with 48 rounds for and 30 rounds against, plus 18 on the season. And you're going to see Vinny get a nice little headshot from the USPS he picked up off the ground on Turismo. Now Spongy sees Caserado trying to be sneaky. And not today, says Spongy. 4v3, iNTACT going for the full-on retake here. Willmeister does not check down those stairs and pays for it. You're going to get a headshot. You're looking for more, and he continues his hot streak, getting Spongy. Yuri again, the top frag in the previous map. He's been the top frag for, I think, 7 of the 9 maps that have been played. Vinny going to cap things off 1-0 for Furia. And yeah, I mean, Yuri's just on a tear. 30 and 16 in the last map, and of course, 7th map as well with 90 plus ADR. 104.6. They have to shut down Yuri. If iNTACT shuts down Yuri here on Inferno, they will come out with the victory. If they do not, Furia is headed to MDL. So 1-0 early on here on Inferno. iNTACT on the season is 3-2 on Inferno, but 3 of those matches were played again with Nox and Optimus are going to walk in farming some money on Swan and Turismo. Going out from Boiler, Willmeister trades it back on Art though, so not out yet or iNTACT, but as Willmeister falls there, the odds decrease bit by bit. Spongy, oh, good response. Sable J goes down. Bomb rotating still to that A site, so it's going to be up to Spongy with 15 HP. Hopefully Shake will rotate around in time, at least hopefully for iNTACT. Furia trying to come back from a 1-0 map deficit to win this 2-1. As Caserado into that A site. Yuri from the flank over around CT spawn, spots out Shake and then falls back. Or actually doesn't fall back, goes to the A site. It's Vinny who's going around for the sneaky plant over at B. Spongy still at A, obviously knows what's going on, and Caserado waits for him to come out and domes him instantaneously. 2-0 in favor of Furia. That was a nice little play. As I was mentioning, iNTACT are 3-2 on Inferno. They have 69 rounds for, 51 rounds against, and are plus 18. Now both losses, as mentioned, were with the older squad that had Nox and Optimus on it. But like I said before, I think that Willmeister and Spongy are good additions to the iNTACT squad. I think Nox probably wasn't doing the job as an entry fragger, although he was a great support player, just wasn't what they were looking for necessarily. And Optimus, again, it was a chemistry thing. Optimus just as talented as Willmeister, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him in ESEA Advanced or MDL next season. But of course, not with iNTACT. Spongy is going to get the headshot on Caserado, so a good frag coming from iNTACT after losing 1, and they pick up a Mac 10 as a result. Caserado is down, but Art is not, and he's going to come in from CT and look for some frags. Gets 1 on Shake and then a second on a Spongy 4v2. That's Vinny. Gonna try and get the bomb planted, but Willmeister from Graveyard fires away, gets Vinny down to 1 HP, but Vinny still connects on the frag. Then Yuri finishes it off by fragging Turismo. So, I mean, that was really close. Vinny almost went down, giving the bomb to iNTACT. I don't think they would have been able to pull it off, but still at least do more damage to Furia's economy. Furia going to buy up here. 3 AKs, a Mac 10, and the SG553 over on iNTACT side. AWP, an M4A4, make that 3 M4A4s, and an AUG. The map is Inferno, guys. If you're just tuning in, this is the ESEA Advanced Season 29 Final. It's gone down to the wire. 3rd map of play, tied 1-1. iNTACT taking the first one by a scoreline of 16-6 on Overpass, and Furia coming out with a victory on Mirage 16-13. Very close one. iNTACT almost coming back to take it. Here we are, Furia up 3-0. iNTACT on their first buy round on their CP side. Spongy gets the opening frag. Able J falls, trying to creep in from the apartments at A. Art waiting next to truck here. He's trying to move in behind that smoke. Good HE grenade thrown. Art's now down to 57. And Spongy going to throw a molly in his direction as well. Art just cannot hold that angle any longer, and Yuri's going to back off as well. So Furia's attempt at that A site thwarted for the time being. It's Willmeister rotating around to try and check things out at mid. Turismo charging up. Maybe get a better angle at apartments as Art has now moved away. Good timing by Turismo. He's looking around. Oh, easy frag on Art. Art not even seeing it coming. Now could get Yuri as well, but Yuri flicks to his head and gets the headshot. 4v3. Furia still at a man disadvantage, but only 31 seconds left. They have to make their play, and they are towards the B site. Shake has other plans, though. He gets the shot on Vinny, spraying him down with the M4A4 in construction. But Queserato still has site control, and that lets Yuri get in here. iNTACT now going to rotate around, but Furia will find the bomb plant. Just a matter of if they win the round as well. Queserato in dark corner. Yuri hanging out around default. Goes around the corner. Gets taken out by Spongy. Now a 3v1. And Queserato going to try to make it happen. Gets one. Looking for a second now on Spongy or Willmeister. Has the advantage in terms of high ground. But down to 4 HP. And Willmeister finishes him off. Doesn't even let him peek another time. iNTACT will indeed find their first round victory. 3-1 in favor of Furia. A lot of people in the chat see it saying Furia's got this map. Let's go Furia. We'll see. Still far from over. And iNTACT with that first round victory going to try and get on a roll here on their CT side. And that poor chicken. Willmeister having no mercy there. What did it ever do to him? But Shake is going to throw quick molly there down. Banana, Swan, aggressive play in towards alt mid, and he gets the frag, but gets traded out immediately by Yuri. Now Turismo waiting behind the smoke. Checking out mid. And Art is going to find the frag on Turismo. 4v3. Shake, Willmeister, and Spongy still alive and kicking for iNTACT. But now down a man. Not for long, though. Shake is going to get the frag, making it a 3v3. Guys, I'm going to have to make a water run soon, I think, if one of these teams calls a timeout. Because I ran out, and with all that GoTV IP stuff, I could not get more. Anyway, back to this match. Still Furia with 46 seconds left on the clock. As Art looking to do some damage here on Spongy, who's stuck at Graveyard. Yuri going to drop the bomb for Art so he can make a play here and try to get in. That's a good molly coming in from Art. That's going to force Spongy out of position, and Art takes advantage of it. Yuri goes down to 15, though, as a result. 3v2, 25 seconds left. They have to get this bomb planted, and Art's going to try to do just that. Both iNTACT members are left on that B site. And they're going to have to try to retake A site on Inferno. One of the hardest maps to retake the A site on, period. There are just so many angles to cover. I think there's probably 6, maybe 7 places where a T could be hiding. I'm assuming it's more than that, but in any case, it's just... That's why you see iNTACT saving here. In a 2v3 on any other map, they might have gone for it, but here, no. Better off keeping those M4A4s in hand. Unfortunately for them, that means a full reset of their economy. 4-1 in favor of Furia. So Furia trying to continue their streak on into this third map of play. They did not look like themselves in map number 1. A lot of people in the chat saying it's normal. Furia doesn't play the map. They looked lost on the map, and they did. But that's because, like everyone was saying, it's just not their thing. Guys, match pause is being called. Usually I wouldn't do this, but I'm just going to make a quick run to get some water. If I miss some action, I'm so sorry, but I'll be back in just a couple of seconds. And I'm back. All right. 6th round of action, guys. Art going to charge up towards Banana. Vinny with him, and Quesarado right behind there. I'm a little out of breath because I was running. Art getting that smoke ready for the B site. Molly going to come in as well. And it's a full-on B execute. Unfortunately for iNTACT, they're not there. Stacked up over on A. And B site's going to be, well, no problem at all. Furia, Brazilian team coming in here. I believe they moved to North America to compete in NA. In 2018, as the bomb gets planted there by Furia, I don't think iNTACT's going to challenge for this, but in 2018, Furia has $30,219.94 USD in winnings. No slouches. And their largest winning was in the GG Bet Ascencio tournament, and that was a $12,000 for their squad. They will be adding some money, regardless of what happens here. Either $34.80 for winning first place or $23.20 for second place. And they're going to get another round victory here at 5-1 in favor of Furia. Turismo does get one frag after the bomb explodes. Now iNTACT going to buy up some rifles. Shake and Woolmeister carrying theirs over from the previous round. And I believe Swan and Turismo, along with Spongy, going to buy up the rifles. No, are they saving again? Yeah. Okay, double save coming in from iNTACT. Not going to get those rifles in hand just yet. Vinny, Art, and Quesarado charging up Banana. Nade stack for iNTACT, not really doing anything. Only getting Art down to 86 HP, and an HE grenade flying from Furia's hands as well down into the B site. Art, Quesarado, and Vinny waiting patiently here to go into that B site. Again, another A site stack. I guess iNTACT figuring, hey, maybe Furia won't go to that B site 2 times in a row. Take our chances again. Furia does not have the bomb in hand just yet. And they're not charging the B. Swan does get the opening one here on Yuri and picks up the AK. Unfortunately, he gets traded out immediately by Able J, who was supporting his teammate. Able J mollied off. He's trapped in the corner now. iNTACT might know it. We'll see if Shake decides to charge up here. Flashbang comes out. He turns away from it and then sees Shake just barely, but Spongy comes out to the rescue. Now a 4v3. Unfortunately for iNTACT, Furia caught on again, and they're going to be headed into this B site. Free plant coming in. Vinny hiding behind the smoke, waiting for iNTACT to rotate into his crosshairs, which they're doing. Bomb going to get planted. Vinny. Key player in the round here, and Art's going to try and help out as well. Turismo gets the headshot on him. Now a 4v2. Quesarado and Art trying to defend. Quesarado coming from Banana. Art stuck here next to the scaffolding. Spongy finds him, leaving. Only Quesarado is doing the damage, but not enough in the tank. 2K for Quesarado before he gets taken out by Spongy, who had a 3K in the round. That's going to be that. iNTACT are back into this one with a second round victory. Furia just could not find an answer there, and a good risk taken by iNTACT. I mean, stacking that A site once more. 2 members were there, and they found one, and then a second after losing in the trade. But still, it turned out for iNTACT. And we're in round number 8. That's going to be a full buy for both sides. iNTACT bringing 2 AKs from that round into this one. So, actually, I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but Furia did not play in the previous season of ESEA. They skipped it, and then when they came back in season 29, they added Able J to the squad, who's been a pretty good addition for them, and they continue to play with Art, Quesarado, Vinny, and Yuri. This is Furia's first season in anything higher than open in ESEA. Of course, they played in other leagues at higher levels before coming back to ESEA in advanced. As Furia looking to strike back here and reset the economy of iNTACT. Swan waiting here with the AWP. Rusai saying, calling them open bots. I'm assuming you're joking around, Rusai. No, I was not doing that at all. Just letting you guys know about their ESEA history. Hart gonna get the opening frag in the round. And then Swan tries to trade it back, but just barely misses. Caserado down to 42 HP and Vinny down to 19 in the meantime. Swan waiting with the op here. Furia is now making a play towards the B site, sending 3 members there. The bomb is sticking around at alt mid though. Wellmeister and Spongy waiting there on A. And Furia trying to pull iNTACT off of that A site with a frag here, but Shake's going to hold his own. You see iNTACT, though, they bite, and they're going to go towards B. That opens up A completely for Furia. I cannot believe iNTACT sent every single player off of the A site. Now Furia is going to walk in, get the bomb plant here. I mean, with the time left on the round, you think maybe they're going to go for the push towards B, but man, at least leave one person to hang back and give you some information. That's a mistake right there. They're going to have to try for the retake now, but as I mentioned, retake is very difficult, especially since they had no one left on the A side to try and do this. And yeah, it's going to be a 4-man save from iNTACT due to that mistake. Unbelievable. So, Furia will secure a 6th round, and iNTACT, of course, it's not a bad play to get the 4-man save. Because if they lose this round, which they're going to, their economy's reset. They're down to 1,400 in terms of money going to their accounts the next round. Instead of trying to go for a very unlikely victory on a retake on the A site, they bring all their weapons into the next one. They can buy for Turismo, make sure he has at least an SMG, and they're good to go again. Utility might not be as strong, but still, they'll be able to buy up decently. iNTACT baited out, though, in that previous round. And Furia take full advantage of it. They're coming into this round with an AWP, 3 AKs, and an SG553, 2 AKs, an op, and 2 M4s round out the buy for iNTACT. Regardless of what happens here, iNTACT or Furia will still have a chance to get to MDL through the relegation tournament, depending on who wins here. Caserado and Vinny setting up for some smokes on the B site. I like the way Furia is playing their T side. Very patient, not overcommitting to either site, and being careful in their decision making. Oh, look at that. Art was locked on balcony, knowing that Swan likes to play there. And Swan gets spotted out by Art, so the op is down again for iNTACT. And that's something that Furia has been doing pretty well, is silencing the opper on iNTACT, which is Swan. Yuri going to get the 2nd frag on Willmeister. Now we have a 5v3 on our hands, and Spongy looking for a response, and he's not going to get it, trying to charge through that smoke. It doesn't work. Able J domes him, leaving only Shake and Turismo. iNTACT losing Shake now. That leaves it up to Turismo, and Yuri has a 2K on the round. Challenging Able J. Will find one, but he's got a very tall hill to climb to come back into this round. Art coming around the corner at Library, gives away his position, and Turismo could finish him off if he gets his spray control down, but he does not. Art gets him, 2 for him, 2 for Yuri, 7-2 in favor of Furia, and iNTACT did manage their economy pretty well in that previous round, but I think they're going to favor a pistol armor buy up here, although they could have Swan come in and force up the op and take a chance. I doubt that will happen. That's way too risky, but it could catch Furia off guard. They don't do it, but still, it was an option. Deagle, 2 P250s, an MP9, and a CZ as an HE grenade going to explode right next to Caserado. Only 2 HP of damage, just grazed his shoulder. The chickens keep going down here. Oh, Caserado spared his life there. Okay, no more chicken murder. Vinny and Caserado at Banana. Good boost here. Shake peeks around the corner. Jiggle peeks. He gets the information he needs. Willmeister trying to trade one back here, and he does as Turismo goes down. Shake gets Quesarado. Now we have a 4v3 in favor of iNTACT on an eco round for them. Vinny comes out, makes it a 3v3 though. 2 members on the A site for iNTACT, 1 on B, and they're rotating around again over to that B site with Vinny doing the damage. We'll see if Furia calls them out again and goes to A instead. Swan firing away through the smoke, trying to connect on Vinny, who's down to 12 HP, just cannot find him, and Vinny jumps into construction. Furia not going to go for the fake this time. They charge into the B site. AbleJ through the smoke, sprays down Swan, almost gets Spongy as well. Now Spongy in a 1v3 with only an MP9, and it's not going to happen. iNTACT make it exciting at the beginning, but they fall, and Furia secures the first half with 8 round victories. 8-2 in their favor, and iNTACT, I think it was an identical scoreline on Mirage as well. Yeah, it was. This is where iNTACT came back and got their 3rd round victory on Mirage. Can they do it again, or will Furia just start to run away with things here on Inferno? It's kind of looking like a similar story as it was against Final Feature for Furia, as Quesarado going to get the opening frag on Shake. Willmeister does burn Quesarado with the molly though, so a good molly thrown by him to make it a 4v4. But against Final Feature, Furia lost the first map again on Overpass, 16-12. Then the second map, Train, was a victory, 16-10. And the third map was not even close on Mirage. It was 16-5. Will that happen again? It's kind of trending in that direction. Art going to get the op shot on Turismo, but Swan trades back one of his own to make it a 3v3. Swan takes a ton of damage in the engagement, and just really Furia's doing a good job exploiting one site, putting a huge dent in it, and then forcing iNTACT to go on the rotates and guess where they might be going. And they do it with a lot of time left on the clock in terms of those early frags coming in. 8-2, 11th round of play. Spongy, did he spot out Art? You have to think so. Art's peeking around the corner there. Finally does. Sprays him down to 67 HP. Willmeister on the flank. Goes and gets Art. 3v2. Yuri and AbleJ stacked up together in a position to trade, but Spongy's not going to let it happen. Spongy peeks around the corner, gets one, then the second coming from Will. Willmeister with the 3K on the round, and again iNTACT strike back, down 8-2, get the round victory to make it 8-3. So iNTACT and Furia going at it toe-to-toe once more. Furia 16-0 on the regular season, iNTACT 14-2, and really one of these teams would have had to have gone 15-1 or lower than that, because Furia and iNTACT faced off against each other in the regular season. That was a matchup. Furia won 16-7. Touchdown for Willmeister though over at Banana. Yuri goes down 5v4. Quesarado looking for a response but just cannot get it. Backs off to Logs. Now Willmeister stacked up with Shake. Over on B, Shake from Coffins. Willmeister boosted up onto the yellow boxes. And Swan watching from CT. All of Furia stacked up here towards Banana. The bomb on the back of Art. No op in play here for Furia. And Swan is going to punish them from CT. Getting another one. Art, his victim there. Willmeister's got a 2K on his hands. Looking for more, flicks up, just barely misses the shot, but Shake takes advantage of Quesarado jumping around, finds him, and Swan is just, man, I've never seen him miss so many shots. His flicks are just slightly off. He does get the final frag in the round, but he usually hits those. Not sure what's going on there. 8-4 though, in favor of Furia and iNTACT. Trying to come back in this first half once more. Spongy leading the charge at 9-6. Spongy in the previous map was 23-21. The only member of the team above 500 with a 72.1 ADR. Turismo was at 500 with a 22-22 record at 90.5 ADR. Everyone else struggled pretty mightily. Furia was just on fire on Mirage. Yuri at 30, Quesarado 28, and Art 24. 104.6 ADR for Yuri. As Yuri comes up mid, Turismo gets the first shot on Vinny and makes it count. Looking for more now. Good flashbang thrown. Turismo follows it up, but Yuri finally trades him out. Swan in the meantime peeking around from truck. Gets AbleJ. Willmeister looking for some action against Furia as well with the AUG. Goes down to 19 HP, but still gets the frag on Yuri. Art in a 4v1 from Boiler, peeking around. He's still going to try for it. They don't have much economy. And he's going to go down, so Art doesn't want to save the AK. I guess he figured he was kind of pincered in there, and pretty much was, except he could have retreated from alt mid, but he doesn't. iNTACT get a third round victory in a row. 5 for them on this one in the chat. I'm seeing with the AUG. Yes, indeed. I'm spelling it out. But the AUG, more affordable now. At 3150, the SG553 at 2750, a change made mid-season in ESEA, and I think it's a good one. I was a little concerned it would be kind of 4 AUGs and 4 SG553s every single time, but of course that did not come to fruition, and it just kind of, they worked their way into the meta in a really positive way. It's been a long time since Valve's played with the economy, and this time it worked. So, pistol armor buy-up coming in for Furia. 2 CZs, 2 PT50s, and a Tech 9. Over an iNTACT double op setup. Continuing on here. Shake is the one rocking the op on Inferno. Oh, look at Vinny, tried to jump down. So did Yuri. Turismo's farming a little bit of money. Willmeister finds Art. Spongy gets Able J. And now it's all up to Queserado all the way at mid, who could get Willmeister with the CZ and does. Gonna pick up that gun as well. Queserado. Looking to make something happen. And he goes into Boiler, now backing off into alt mid. Still going to try for this one. And again, the economy is not good for Furia. Only 2,900 coming into the accounts. They won't be able to get full utility if they choose to buy up AKs in the next round. Not going for the save. Has a lot of confidence here. Spongy and Pit calls out his position. And now you see Shakezilla rotating out. 14 seconds left. And Spongy domes him. Furia again not opting for the save. And their economy in this final round of play will not be great. They're going to have AKs. Probably 3 AKs. A couple of Galils. And some utility for themselves. But no, actually, Art's going to have to settle for the MAC-10. 2 MAC-10s, 1 Galil, and 2 AKs. Furia could have had 3 AKs, though. Maybe even 4 with the AK saved up, but chose not to. 15th round of play, iNTACT making a run. 4 round victories in a row here. Looking for a 5th to cap things off in the first half of action. Tied up 1-1. iNTACT taking the first map. Furia taking the second. And it's all come down to this in Season 29 of ESEA Advanced. As Furia making a charge up from mid. Vinny gonna get the opening frag on Turismo. Furia making it work. Able J walks into Willmeister, gets him. 5v3. The only one taking damage is Queserado down to 14 HP. Swan waiting on the A site. Still has reinforcements in the form of Spongy, so a bit of a crossfire setup. But if Spongy gets spotted out or they get isolated, which they are right now behind that smoke, it's gonna be tough. Furia, very smart play. Coming in here, not committing to the A site, going through CT, and going where they've only got 1 member do intact. That's Shake. Furia. See what Shake can do. 1, and that's it. 1 and done for Shake. Able J finds him, and they leave Yuri behind to get the rotates. Very well played by Furia. Spongy is going to trade him out, but now it's a 1v3 instead of a 2v4 going into that bomb site. Spongy sees Queserado, who's very lit, down to 14 HP, throws the molly, backs off, and goes for a wall bang through the half wall at Banana. Spongy waits for the molly to burn away. He's going to have to try and go for this one since we're in the final round of the half. Spongy peeking around the corner. Art firing away. Oh, Art domes him down to 18, and that's going to be the killing blow. Art gets the final one. Furia secure a 9-6 half. Better than the way iNTACT finished Mirage at 11-4. But they certainly want to try and get this pistol round. Guys, I do hope you're enjoying the cast so far. If you are, I'd appreciate a follow at JRTTV with 2 E's at the end on Twitter, and JRTTV without the 2 E's at the end on my Twitch. I will be posting highlights of this match. I'm not sure if it's going to happen tonight because it's getting kind of late, but I'm going to do my best to try and make that happen later on. We're in the second and final half, regardless of this playoffs. Who will come out on top? Will it be iNTACT? A team that was undefeated in ESEA main, 16-0, undefeated in the playoffs, period, and then came into ESEA Advanced and had a very strong season at 14-2? Or will Furia be the ones to secure the undefeated season, the same thing iNTACT did in Maine, only this time in Advanced, and secure their spot in MDL? We're going to find out soon. As both teams are waiting to get started in the second half of action. Guys, don't forget, type exclamation point giveaway in the chat if you want a chance at winning some G Fuel. I believe it's the Dr. Disrespect Blackberry flavor. Check that out. And you can get the Mountaintop Shaker as well. Again, exclamation point giveaway in the chat. So just waiting for both teams to get started here. Coaches for tonight. Didn't get a chance to mention them, but I wanted to because they're pretty equally matched up. You have Gary, 28 years old. I'm probably butchering his name, and I'm sorry for that. He was semi-pro in 1.6 Source and CSGO. He played a lot of Counter-Strike, but now he decided to hang up the guns and go behind the bench to try and coach Furia to victory, and he's done an excellent job so far. But the same could be said for Rich, coaching iNTACT, 28 years old as well. 3 MDL seasons under his belt. Not as much experience, of course, as Gary has, but still no slouch at all. Subbed in for iNTACT at the mid-season mark, I believe, for a little bit. Or was going to and just didn't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Rich is very capable for iNTACT. Oh, yes, he did. He subbed in for a qualifier. Now I remember. They didn't win it, but still, he held his own. So here we go. Second half of action. 9-6 Furia. iNTACT looking to get things going on this pistol round and find their way back into this match. Try to get their first lead of the map. Here goes Willmeister. CZ bought up for Able J, a smoke as well. 2 flashbangs for Vinny. 2 players with no armor there on Furia's side. Only one for iNTACT without armor. That's Shake, who bought up the smoke and the flash. iNTACT leaning heavily towards the A site. 4 members there. Yuri's going to get the opening frag on Willmeister. And now the team's going to rotate around with Turismo, though. Comes onto the B site. Finds one. Gets traded up by Caserado. Did not check towards Coffins, unfortunately. And now iNTACT were thinking about going towards that B site with Turismo walking in. They think twice and look back towards mid. 2 members on A. 2 members on B for Furia. Either site going to be a challenge for iNTACT to take, with only 3 members left standing. Spongy has been key on every single pistol round for iNTACT. I think coming in with 2 or more almost every single time. Probably going to need to do the same here. Good flashbang thrown by Furia. 2 members stacked on default. Swan gets the opening frag. No response just yet for Furia, but you have Vinny rotating around from arch side. But Swan with the 2K. 3v2 in favor of iNTACT now, with Caserado and Vinny going to have to rotate around from B. Vinny is trying to come out of library and peek around, find the head of someone as the bomb ticks away. Shake and Pit, Spongy over at Graveyard. And you have Swan playing default on A. Furia do have the defuse kit on Vinny's back. Caserado looking for someone who might be watching from mid. They're going to have to make quick work here. Here comes the flashbang. And another one. Oh, the second one does not connect, though. That is not where Vinny wanted to throw it, and that results in Caserado getting fragged pretty handily by Spongy. And Spongy does indeed come out with the 2K to cap things off. We have a 9-7 scoreline. iNTACT managed to make it work, down 4v3. Spongy and Swan walked into that A site. Swan is the one who got both frags, and then Spongy capped it off at the end with 2 of his own. iNTACT looking to tie this one up at 9-9. 2 CZs, 2 P250s, and a 5-7 over on Furia's end. Over on iNTACT, they're trying to get that SMG money. 3 MAC-10. Swan, again, likes to run the USPS in the second rounds against armorless opponents, but Furia is actually opting to force up here. That is a risky play that exposes them completely in terms of economy in the 3rd round of play. does help them out against the MAC-10s slightly, mostly against Swan with only the USPS in hand. Shake going through underpass, throwing the bomb down. He's going to try and hunt down some information and some frags over at the B site. There are 4 members of iNTACT working A. And Shake going to try and make it look like a B hit. With Furia likely having to rotate given they only have pistols. Spongy is going to get the opening frag for his squad on Able J as he moves in towards Arch side. Shake still doing work here at B. Try and fool Furia, but I don't think they're fooled much longer. They must hear all those footsteps coming in. Turismo's closing on Pit, cannot connect on the frag. Swan helps him out by finding Art, but Quesarado and Yuri doing the damage with the CZs. Spongy and Turismo fall. Shake responds with 1, 3v2. They still have to spot out Yuri, and Quesarado's trying to pinch in. Over from Arch side, he does get Swan. Willmeister has to finally end Yuri, and he does. Quesarado with the 2K taps away over on Shake, but cannot connect on anything. And Shake gets to the bomb site, planting the bomb. Quesarado might be able to find a gun on the ground here. We'll see. Quesarado. CZ in hand. Only 6 bullets left to work with to find 2 frags. Of course, can likely pick up a gun off the ground after he finds one. Sells the body armor. 95 armor left. That could be useful in the next round. Save him a little bit of cash. Yeah, I don't think he's going to do anything. He just keeps going back and forth. No defuse kit. He's not going to get a defusal. Might get frags. Nope, nothing. Shake finishes him off, and that's going to be that. Furia now only up 9-8. 1 round down from tying this up at 9-9 and giving themselves an opportunity to get their first lead of the match. As I mentioned, Furia forced up in the previous round. Now they're on a full save, and that's the risk you take. 4 USPSs, a P2000, not even the Zeus that Furia likes to use in hand here. Gonna stack the B site and try to make it happen. It's not easy, but it's possible, and they're using an interesting little strategy here, stacking up 4 members on top of each other. You see it happen often around mid. This time they're doing it at the B site next to scaffolding. We're going to fire away. Turismo peeks around the corner and says, guys, they're all here. Get the hell out of here. Go to the A side. You see them just skedaddling away. Furia's trying to charge forward and get an advantage here, but as soon as iNTACT saw it, threw a couple of good mollies, forced Furia to kind of just rotate around within the B site itself. And Shakezilla is going to go to A and get the free plant. So Furia now just waiting in B, and iNTACT knows exactly where they are, so they're going to actually go hunting for them. Not sure why. I mean, Furia has nothing. Just let them survive with only the pistols. Turismo goes down, and now Willmeister is at CT spawn. He's just trying to bait out a shot, I guess. Yeah. iNTACT just has to protect that AK. You do not want to give that away to Furia. Willmeister coming out here, going into the stack and down to 70 HP. All that jumping around. Oh, see Spongy walking in. Why? Unreal. Anyway, Willmeister is going to get one, then go down to Able J. No reason for iNTACT to really throw those weapons away, but they did. Luckily, Furia doesn't pick up any of them. And we are tied up at 9-9. iNTACT coming back from an 8-2 deficit, winning 7 of the last 8 rounds to bring this one back. Leading the charge is Spongy, who I would say is the MVP for iNTACT in the playoffs, especially if iNTACT comes out with the victory on this map. Quesarado down to 22 HP, the full-on buy coming in for Furia. Shake taking a bit of damage on his side as well. Able J in library. As a smoke going to come in, smoking off Arch side completely for iNTACT. And that leads to Furia backing off and playing it safe on A. iNTACT not committing just yet. They're firing a few shots down banana. Turismo with the MAC-10 leading the charge. All 5 members of iNTACT stacked up here. Still 1 minute left. They don't have to rush this one, but I think they want to get into this B site. Smokes are ready to be thrown. Gonna need one for CT Spawn. That one's coming in right now. Good flashbang thrown before it. And now Case Rado has to peek around. He does. Gets one and done. Traded out immediately. 4v4. iNTACT now going to charge forward into that B site that only has Vinny left around Coffins. Willmeister going to plant a default. Nice molly thrown by iNTACT. Great utility usage on both sides on their T sides. And now Vinny's going to wait for reinforcements to come in. All 3 members that will be helping him out from CT Spawn. No one going down banana. So that really lets Shake and Spongy hang out there uncontested. Here comes Vinny, though. They have a flashbang, a couple of smokes to work with. Willmeister at dark corner goes down. Swan trades it out. Yuri trying to fire away. Spongy finds one. Back and forth action here. 2v2. Spongy gets Yuri, making it a 2v1. And Arc goes down to Spongy as well. Spongy with the 3K. And he continues to dominate here on the T side for iNTACT. 10-9 in their favor. Spongy hitting 18. And Match Pause coming in. iNTACT have their first lead on Inferno. Can they carry this forward and win the map? Furia needs a response here on this second half. They've had nothing so far, and again, their economy is shattered. They have to stick with the Pistol Armor buy-up, a couple of CZs, a P250, a Deagle, and a P2000. Match pause now going to expire. Over on Furia's side, the fragging certainly not as strong as it was on Mirage. 14 for Yuri, 14 for Art, 11 for Quesarado there, the top 3 for Furia. Over on iNTACT, well, like I mentioned, Spongy 18, Willmeister 13, and Swan is picking up his game here on Inferno, 11 and 11. He did start getting things going second half Mirage, and they're really going to need him here, no doubt about it. As a mobile opper on the T side, you don't always see ops on Inferno on teams' T sides. But since Swan is so good with it on the go, he can run it, no problem. Turismo, oh look at Turismo right next to Yuri here. Yuri's waiting for him to come around the corner and Turismo gets the headshot. He spots him out first, 5v4. iNTACT looking for an 11th round victory and could very likely get it with every single other Furia member on the B site. iNTACT has a free take on A. And if you think A is hard to retake with rifles, well, just imagine with pistols. Shake. Going in here, clearing things out. Unbeknownst to them, no one from Furia is there. And unless something crazy happens, iNTACT should have an 11th round victory. Swan staring down mid. He'll get a free one more than likely if Furia decides to peek around mid, but they don't. They're going to go down the stairs. And Able J, everyone actually surviving for Furia back in towards T-spawn, but they give away their position now. iNTACT's going to hunt down Turismo, firing through the smoke, connects on Able J, looking for another one, Quesarado, but has to reload, and Quesarado gets in Mac 10 for his efforts. Throwing the flashbang as well. I think he wants more than that. If he can find it, there it is. Picks it up off the ground next to the flower pot. iNTACT, though, at the end of the day, even all this, through all this excitement, post-plant, they're going to win an 11th round, 11-9 in their favor. They have a 2-round lead. On his career, Spongy leading the squad with a 1.32 KDR, 84.4 ADR, not to mention that's over 4 MDL seasons. It is hard enough to maintain those kind of stats in any division, not to mention MDL. And over on Furia, it's actually Yuri with similar stats, 1.32 over his career and 90.3 ADR. That's in ESEA only, though. And as I mentioned earlier, Furia's played outside of ESEA, quite frequently. In the chat, Sushbag calling out to stop butchering the chickens. I know. Those poor chickens, especially on Inferno. I think that's pretty much where the chickens started. They weren't always on all the maps. History lesson in CSGO. They used to only be on, I think, Italy and Inferno. And now they're on every single map. And Siege. I remember them being on Siege. All right. Let's get back to this. Or is it not Siege? I'm thinking of Italy. It's still Italy. All right. Enough of that. 21st round of play. Vinny with the smoke in his hand, getting ready to throw it, but iNTACT's not committing just yet to the B site. Full on buy for Furia. Here comes iNTACT rolling along. Turismo with the drive-by gets one. Kaser on a response. Boosts up on top of the flower pot, but still engaging with Spongy. And Spongy gets the edge, but Yuri flies through the smoke over from Coffins and gets the trade. 3v3. Crazy action at B, and no one really has control of the site yet. Now iNTACT walks and gets the bomb plant. They have one waiting around Banana. That's Shake. Swan is going to join him as well. Able J and Yuri heading towards construction. Oh, through the smoke, Able J finds Swan. Traded back by Spongy, though, and now Art is down. Shakezilla gives his team the man advantage. Able J has a beat on Spongy at new box. Spongy goes into cover, and now Able J, is he going to back off and give him the site? At such a critical juncture. Spots out Spongy. Now he's going to throw a smoke and likely just retreat. Yeah, Able J is going to give iNTACT the site. Saving his gun, and he doesn't even save his gun. Spongy through the smoke, another 3K. The MVP for iNTACT stepping up again, 12-9 in their favor. And Furia, without that gun saved here, are going to have to question themselves and think, man, do we have to go on another pistol armor save and give iNTACT a potential 13th round? They have not found a round yet in this second half. It was 9-6 at the start of it. 6 consecutive rounds for iNTACT. 3,400 loss bonus has come into Furia's accounts 2 rounds in a row. This time, they're unable to really use it. They could take the chance. Force up here. I doubt it. So here we go. Pistol armor buy it. 3 CZs, a P250, and a 5.7. For Furia. Over on iNTACT, 3 AKs and op, and a MAC-10. Turismo trying to farm a little bit more money, and for good reason. He could get it. 4 members of Furia do not have that head armor, and without that, the MAC-10 becomes that much more lethal. Flashbang going to be thrown down Banana, and iNTACT's just going to try and charge forward into the A site down mid, and they're doing exactly that. Only 2 members on A for Furia and Turismo, with the MAC-10 shot to the head of Yuri. Art's the last one standing over on A, and Shake comes around the corner. Art really didn't have a choice. He had to watch for anyone coming into pit, and Shakezilla blindsides him from apartments. Chase Riley trying to come out and get one. Shake's watching that. Vinny doing the damage in the meantime, finding 2 with the 5.7, but that's going to be 2 and done as Willmeister gets his first of the round, leaving only Able J, who just gives away his position around mid. And that means iNTACT are going to close their crosshairs down and get a crossfire set up. Spongy waits from around the corner, gets the headshot, and iNTACT do indeed find a 13th round. So Furia now down by 4. iNTACT undefeated in the second half, 7-0 in their favor. Full on buy coming in for Furia, just about to start the round, and the match pause gets called once more. That is what, our 8th, 10th? I lost track. Anyone know how many match pauses we've had so far over the 3 maps? I am unable to count. At least in terms of the match pauses. I can count everything else. Anyway, we're headed into, what is it? Round number 23. 8th round of play in the second half. 37 timeouts. Sintrip, all right. 69? 8? I think Erupts is more realistic at 8. And now the timeout going to expire. And we're going to get going. iNTACT trying to continue their run and get a 14th round victory. iNTACT, wow, what an unbelievable story it would be for them. Going 16 undefeated in ESEA main, 16-0 in the regular season. And then in the playoffs undefeated as well. And then coming into ESEA Advanced, 14-2. Going to the playoffs undefeated so far. Losing their first map here tonight, but still, they make MDL right here. That'll be crazy. Everyone favoring Furia, even all those odds on the gambling sites. A lot at stake here. Art gonna get the opening frag. Turismo responds immediately with the trade. 4v4. Here come iNTACT. Gonna charge in. Yuri could be the difference maker. He is. Gets the trade immediately on Turismo, giving his team the advantage. 4v3. Molly coming out towards truck side. Willmeister gonna have to wait for it to burn. Each a grenade. Flies on through but misses his head. It does connect on Swan though, who's down to 58. Swan engaging. Misses his shot. He actually didn't miss it. He connected on the leg of Yuri. Down to 11 HP. Could consider that a miss regardless. Art gonna get his second on Willmeister, and Furia trying to strike back with their first round victory here in the second half. Swan and Spongy, the last 2 standing. They know Yuri's in pit, but not much more. Art gonna get a 3K now. He's looking for a fourth. Did he connect through the wall and Spongy? Anyway, Yuri gets the final one, and Furia do indeed find their 10th round victory. They win their first round of the second half. 23 rounds expired. iNTACT have built up so much economy, though, that they're rocking and rolling here into round number 24 with a full-on buy-up. Furia is more at risk in this round in terms of their economy than iNTACT is. iNTACT can probably still buy up. If they lose this one, Furia will be a little strapped with only 1,400 coming into their accounts for a case and the op for iNTACT. Queserato, Abel J, and Vinny stacked up here over on the B site. HE grenade going to be thrown by Queserato. And iNTACT taking their time. In the chat, Ayumi saying, this might go OT, I'm feeling it. You could be right. iNTACT with the 3-round edge for the time being. .107 on the clock as 4 of them creep their way down Banana. Only one member for Furia remains here on the B site. That's Furia. He's peeking back and forth, getting the molly ready to try and fend off the advance. Maybe a little of a preemptive molly there, since now if iNTACT tries to charge up, the molly's gone and only Queserato remaining on the B site. So that gives less time for a rotate to come in. Still has the smoke ready. I'm not sure if he even intended to throw that quickly. Turismo gets one on Vinny, gets traded out immediately by Art. And now Furia sends one on over to the B site. Maybe reading the play. Queserato charges through in between both smokes, fully flashed. And iNTACT, oh, look at this! They're doing a bit of a shuffle on their end this time. They bait out Furia completely! Furia's gone! All 4 members do exactly what iNTACT did on their CT side, and they're just wondering, what is happening right now? No one's here. Because they're over at the A site planning the bomb. Here we go. iNTACT with the full-on rotate, faking out Furia completely. And look at Furia, they know what's up. Exactly the same situation as before for iNTACT. 4-man save. iNTACT take that 14th round victory right out from under the feet of Furia. Excellent fake coming in there. And iNTACT's not going to be challenged at all. They're just going to save their guns into the following round. Furia will as well. And like I mentioned, because of the economy for Furia, they have to do this just as iNTACT did on their CT side. iNTACT fully reset the economy of Furia, get their 14th round victory on our 1 round closer to getting an instant MDL spot with a victory here in map number 3. Could not have asked for a better finish on map 3, that's for sure. Here's match pause number 722. As we wait for round number 25 to get started. Rich gets no credit. Shaking my head, says Mochel. I give him a lot of credit. I like to call him out as much as I can because coaches are underrated in Counter-Strike and don't get mentioned enough. I mean, Gary as well over on Furia has done a hell of a job. So these guys are in there day in, day out, watching replays, watching demos, trying to study other teams, trying to make sure that their teams stay on point and that their IGLs don't have to stress too much with thinking about those other details, can just focus on the match itself and adjusting on the fly. So, here we go. Round number 25 is underway. iNTACT need 2 more to make MDL. Furia needs 6. Furia, oh my goodness! 2 members taking a ton of damage from that grenade. Art and Vinny down to 51 and 49 HP. Flashbang gonna come in here from iNTACT, but look at the damage done already. 100 damage done against Furia. Molly gonna fly in towards Banana. HE grenade as well, and Art takes a bit more damage down to 49. Still locked on, could get Willmeister pretty easily. Flicks around, and that was a nice flick on the move. Gets Willmeister, making it a 5v4, but still, they're very damaged on this B site. 98 HP combined for B. So iNTACT. Looks like they're going to try and push it with 57 seconds left. All stacked up there. 3 on A, 2 on B. B is definitely the site to hit. Comes the molly in there. That's going to do a lot of damage to Art. Down to 24 now. Uses the smoke to defuse it. And full flash just trying to survive the onslaught of utility by iNTACT. Misses an easy shot though. Vinny to recover for his teammate with a 3K. Looking for a fourth, goes with a knife out against Swan. And could he get the knife frag? Oh my goodness, Swan pulls out the knife himself, gets Vinny. Wow. Who would have thought a knife on knife would happen in round number 25? Art is going to find the final one on Swan, but that's all Vinny. 3K on his side. Picking up the slack for Art, who missed the shot. 14-11. That was a weird round. But Swan coming out with the counter knife. And getting a good bit of money in his bank account as a result. Now lets him buy up the op again. 3 AKs, an op, and a CZ, but iNTACT reverse reset in terms of their economy by Furia. 14-11. You can Zeus Swan, but not knife, says Mochilla. Oh, I like that one. Exige TV, Karambit higher tier. Yes, the higher tier knife wins the engagement every time. Art staring down there. Arch side, Yuri. Over at balcony. Pretty similar setup for Furia, only this time they've gone back to only having one member at the B site. That's Queserado. Last time they did that, iNTACT exposed them and won the round. Swan, good molly thrown. I think that one's on point towards balcony. It's going to force Furia to back off a little bit. Vinny using a lot of utility himself, trying to push iNTACT back, but they're going full on here into A. It's not going to work out just yet. Spongy gets the HE grenade frag over on Able J, and now they're trying to think what they can do. Don't have much site control. Yuri's still in pit. Still 3 members left to deal with on the A site, and now one rotating around in the form of Queserado. I think Shake has a beat on him, and Shake on the flank now as Swan finds the frag on Yuri. Shake could be the key factor here. Finds Queserado. No, he doesn't get Queserado. He gets Vinny instead. He wasn't even aiming for. Queserado goes down as well, and now it's all down to Art. The only one standing in the way of a 15th round victory for iNTACT. Shake doing the damage. Art still standing, but he's going to have to figure out what's going on here. iNTACT's all over the map. They got one headed towards B, one at mid, and one that is Shake inside of library. Art knows Shake is there, so he's trying to guard it, but Shake, oh my goodness, going to get another flank frag. No, this time Art flicks around and gets the second frag of the round for himself. Swan and Spongy still standing. They're going to guard that B site, and Art has to be furious that he's going to go and save this AWP and give iNTACT a 15th round victory. Shakezilla, the IGL for iNTACT, can do it all. A next generation IGL who's capable of pretty much everything. Coming out in the clutch, fragging, getting the damage in the round, and calling out the shots. Art is going to save the op into this round, but iNTACT has come back. They were down 8-2, and they've just completely exploded here in this second half to get 15 round victories. 15-11. Furia only has 2 victories in the second half. iNTACT with 9. One more, and iNTACT are going to be your ESEA Season 29 Advanced Champions and the newest addition to the Mountain Dew League. Spongy. Going in here, iNTACT's hearts have to be pounding at this point. They can taste it. Axio going into that A site. Turismo's already out at balcony looking for the opening frag in the round. Yuri's down to 71. Molly flies right behind him. He's going to have to move away from it, and he does, but he goes down. Spongy finds one. Shake gets another. Then Shake gets a third. iNTACT 2 frags away. 1 frag away. Art is the last one standing, and Art gets Swan. Now he's going to have to get 3 more members. Shake, Will, and Spongy are lit. Art coming in into the A site. Not over yet, but Will Meister does it. iNTACT Esports are your ESEA Season 29 champions and the newest addition to Mountain Dew League. They upset Furia.